Well, in today's video, we're going to change the 12-volt battery in our EV. That's right, electric vehicles have two batteries. They have the large battery, which is underneath the car, and that's the main one that powers the motion of the vehicle. But they also have a 12-volt battery, which powers things like your headlights, your infotainment system, and sunroof, all that sort of stuff. So today, we're going to replace that. So stay with us. Channel sponsor Regen EV Charging Install are Australia's residential and commercial electric vehicle charger installation specialists. Need an EV charger anywhere in Australia? Regen EV Charging Install make it easy. Contact links are in the show notes. Hi, my name's Greg. Welcome to the channel. And if you're a first-time viewer, please subscribe to the channel and also give the video the thumbs up. And if you're on a mobile device and you like it, give it a hype of some points. That all helps us out. Well, as we mentioned today, we're going to replace the 12-volt battery. Our little MG ZS EV has got a 6-year-old battery in it. People often are worried about the quality of some of the newer brands, particularly the unknown brands. MG's been around in Australia for a while, but yeah, this has got a Chinese-made 12-volt battery. It's actually over 6 years old, and it is still actually starting our EV. But at 6 years, I have noticed on the dash, the 12-volt voltage is a little down, so I'm going to replace it today with a new one. But yeah, 6 years out of an original battery isn't too bad. Now, on that note, we do not run the dash cam and we don't run radios and stuff without the EV turned on. So when you have your EV turned on, there's a DC to DC converter which will keep this little 12-volt battery charged from your large battery. But exactly like a petrol or diesel car, if you don't have this car turned on, so you don't have your big contactors turned on, you will drain your 12-volt battery if you leave something like the headlights on or a dash cam that's monitoring while you're parked at the airport for 2 weeks or something. You will flatten this battery. So we have always looked after it, but you will notice I've got a little addition here, and we've got a separate video on this if you want to have a look. We had a cyclone a couple of years ago, and I hooked up a little off-grid inverter, and we were keeping our freezer running in the house on this. This car unfortunately doesn't have vehicle to load. Like I said, it's 6 years old, so a little bit of oldish tech. And we were running a freezer for 3 days off this, but we did have the car turned on. So, yep, have looked after the battery, but it's amazing we've got 6 years out of it, so I've been more than happy. Just on that too, on the 12-volt batteries, you'll notice some of these modern petrol and diesel cars that have stop-start engines. Now look, I think that's a bit of a scam. They say it's to save on emissions. I really think that it's just to get the emissions lower so that they can sell them in countries where they have tighter emission standards. But irrespective, batteries now, 12-volt batteries can get quite expensive because those stop-start vehicles, they need more robust heavy-duty 12-volt batteries because it's stopping and starting so much more. So for an electric vehicle, you don't need that big cranking power because you're not turning over an internal combustion engine. You're not resisting the compression. Really, all you're doing is firing up the electronics, firing up the computer, and once all that fires up and your big contactors underneath the vehicle, they're like the big electrical connections, once they pull in, your 400 or your 800 volt battery underneath the car is powering the car. So, long story short, these batteries for electric vehicles are often cheaper than they are for stop-start vehicles. Okay, so let's get into the fun part of actually swapping it over. And before we do that, I'll quickly show you this. I recommend every EV owner has one of these. It's a lithium-ion jump starter pack. Now, you can use these for petrol and diesel cars as well, of course, but as you can see, it's a nice little compact pack. Believe it or not, this little guy can start a small V8 vehicle if you needed to. But the beauty of these are, if you get stranded with a 12-volt battery, you've left the headlights on, you flatten your 12-volt battery, you cannot start your electric vehicle. No different to any other petrol or diesel. So really worth having one of these in the boot. It also has a little torch on it and you can charge lots of phones. We actually use this camping a lot as well, but this plugs into it and it will jump start your EV. So the purpose of this showing you today is I'm going to attempt to connect this to the cables, so when we disconnect the battery, I'm hoping that this will keep the current in the system because I don't want to have to reset my radio and all that sort of stuff. So we'll see how that goes today. But at around about $150 plus, these are a great investment. Okay, so here we are. We've got our little lithium jump starter hooked up. Now this is going to be a bit tricky because I think when I try and get these terminals disconnected and the cables pulled off the battery, it's probably going to flick off, but hey, let's give it a shot. We've got our new battery here ready to go in. So a couple of things I'll just mention. Be very careful when you're changing your battery. Obviously, I don't have insulated spanners, so you'll notice that ring spanner there is just the normal metal spanner. If I drop that across those terminals, we'll have a huge arc, so be very careful you don't do that. And you also take your negative lead off first. So we'll do the negative lead first, then we'll do the positive lead. We'll try and gently put them out of the way so that the lithium-ion jump starter continues to have a circuit in the vehicle. We'll lift the old battery out and we'll put the new one in. We've got it out. As with most of these DIY jobs, it'd be great if you had a third arm sometimes. And I thought that battery, the old one, had a handle and it didn't. So yeah, the new one's got a built-in handle. So that makes it a lot easier because, as you know, these lead acid batteries, and this is a lead acid battery, they are very heavy. You'll notice some EVs like Teslas, etc., they now actually have a lithium-ion battery and they last a lot longer, 10, 15, 20 years. Some EVs have a battery that's sort of warranted for the life of the car. These ones, old school, lead acid, same as petrol or diesels. So we're ready to get this new in. I've just written the date on it. I usually do that. That's habit, so I know when I put a new battery in. So let's see if we can get it back in, shuffle it around those terminals. I can hear the little relay clicking in and out on the jump starter. So let's hope that that has provided a continuous current and we haven't lost any settings in the car. Let's see how we go. Okay, well there we go. The new one's in. And how much easier was it with a handle on the top? So yeah, hats off to all the battery manufacturers these days. They generally always have an included handle in it. So I'm going to go ahead, tighten these terminals up. I really have my fingers crossed that we're not going to lose any settings. Of course, you needed to be careful that you have the battery around the right way. In this particular case, we have the negative terminal or post of the battery at the front of the car and the positive post or terminal at the back of the car, and the terminals were closest to the passenger mudguard. So not a bad idea to actually take a photo of your existing battery, your old one, before you pull it out, because this car, it's very easy to tell the difference. Some cars, the terminal posts are in the middle and you can get a bit confused, so always a good idea to take a photo before you start. But let me get these terminals tightened up and we'll see if we've saved our settings. Well, the terminals are tightened up, and look, one thing I'll say on terminals on batteries like this, they are lead, so there's some movement or flexibility in them, but don't over tighten them, because if you over tighten your clamps that go around your battery terminals, sometimes you can break them or crack them, and you may not necessarily see that crack, but then that'll affect the quality of the electrical connection. So you just do them up till they're nice and firm. You try and twist them so that they don't twist on the battery post, and if they don't twist on the post, that's tight enough. Please don't over tighten them and try and cramp them right up, because you can often split them. And the final thing is, it's always a good idea to keep all your parts together. So just out of shot here, I've got a socket set here, and I've just took all the bits and pieces, and I only had a bracket here which holds the battery in place, a bolt, and all the other terminal gear stayed on there. But it's always a good idea to keep it together so you don't forget anything. So when you're finished, you do a quick double check. Have I put everything back? You know, the famous thing when you pull something apart and then you've got a couple of bolts or screws left over. Not a great look when you're working on a vehicle, particularly around safety stuff. So this is the last one I need to put back on. This is just the anchor that goes down in and actually holds the battery in the car. So God forbid if the car ever rolled or anything, this little piece of kit will keep the battery mounted nice and solidly and won't be flying around in the engine bay. Well, there we go, 12-volt battery swapped out in an EV, and literally that took about 10 minutes, and that included getting some tools. As you'll see, I needed a screwdriver, I had to shoot away and get. You always need more tools than you think. But if you're a little bit DIY, a little bit handy, there is no problems with changing out a 12-volt battery in your vehicle if you're confident doing it. 10 minutes. That's all it takes. You can shop around for a battery. It's always a good idea to replace your 12-volt battery before you get stranded on the side of the road for obvious reasons. Most people these days have roadside assistance, and that comes with a lot of new EVs. There's a lot of EVs around now that have 6, 7, 8 years of included roadside service, so that's great. But you still got to sit on the side of the road, you still got to wait for somebody to come, you've got to hope they've got the right battery. So my recommendation would be keep an eye on your 12 volt. If it's starting to look like the voltages are getting down, and in an EV you can generally check that in your infotainment menu system. Like me, the old one was still starting the car, but at 6 years old I wasn't going to push it anymore. I did notice it was getting low. So you can shop around, you can buy it when it's on special, and then you can just change it out at your leisure. A lot better than getting stuck on the side of the road. Okay, so this is a big test. I'll grab the camera, we're going to jump in the cab. I've got the key in my pocket. We're sitting on the passenger's side because I've reversed into the shed, so I can't get in the driver's side. So I'll stretch over, push my foot on the brake pedal, we'll hit the start button, and we'll see if we've saved all our settings. Oh, it's a big stretch from the passenger seat. Okay, foot on brake. It's looking good. Firing up. Yes. 116. We've kept all the settings. Everything is fantastic. Well, there we go. The 12-volt battery swapped out in a 6-year-old MG ZS EV. Our trick using our little lithium-ion jump starter worked. We kept all the settings in the car, so that was fantastic. Don't need to go through mucking around with menus and resetting things. And yeah, look, it's as easy as that. And it goes to show that these cheaper, I won't say better value because it all depends on what you want to buy, but these cheaper value-focused EVs are certainly worth a consideration, particularly if you're just looking for a car to run around town, do the errands, even do short road trips. We've got lots of videos on the channel of us doing camping. We've taken this from Brisbane to Sydney return, so we have done big trips in this. Yes, it's a little bit more tricky because you do have to stop and charge more often, but overall we've been really happy with this car. So had it for nearly 6 years. We've got nearly 80,000 kilometres on it, and really just looking under the bonnet here, one of the gripes is there's no covers or sort of air dam thingies underneath, so it does get a lot of dust up in here. But other than that, the car does what it's supposed to do, and the amount of fuel that we've saved and service costs in the 6 years we've owned it more than recommend these cheaper, more budget electric vehicles. Well, that's it for another video. Thanks very much for watching. Really appreciate your support. If you wanted to flick us a couple of dollars, donation links are below. We prefer Ko-fi because that's the one that charges us less fees. Big shout out to our channel sponsor, Regen EV Charging Install. If you need an EV charger installed anywhere in Australia, give the guys at Regen EV a call, and that includes big rapid DC chargers as well as home AC chargers. And other than that, take care, stay safe, look after your friends and family, and we'll talk soon. Cheers.